Noro Shinpei, who is Noro Shinpei? He was one of the most famous post-war Japanese cartoonists and happened to be my favorite cartoonist. And he was one of the great pioneers of what manga has evolved into today. And that's what I wanted to be, to do. And I went and crashed the studio. There have been series of coincidences which are hard for me to explain because I myself remember them and marvel at them today. The moment that I'm in my one-room apartment, boy's dream come true, like a treehouse. I could read as late as I wanted. Okay, now I can truly realize my dream, that is to search for a master in cartooning. And one of the first things that I did was to buy a newspaper. I mean, 12-year-old boys don't buy newspapers. And I'm reading this in this restaurant, and lo and behold, I read about Tokida. It was kind of a shattering experience to me that there were other boys who wanted to be cartoonists. I thought I was unique. I mean, who wants to be a cartoonist? It was never taken seriously by grown-ups. But there I was, and I'm reading the paper, and the extraordinary thing, which we cannot imagine today, is that in those days, Japanese newspapers published the names and addresses of those who got on the news. So I had this great man's address. I just simply cut out this article, and that's what I'm carrying in the book when the boy goes searching for Noro Shinpei. And as it turned out, it was within walking distance from my apartment. And Tokyo is a vast city. It's a place called Ikebukuro, and it happened pretty much the way I described it there. It was a little office in this drab building, which I was sort of afraid to walk into. And it was Kafkaesque. I went from door to door. Each door had this milky glass window at the top. And it was in the last room. I had to go upstairs. I checked every room on the first floor. No Noro Shinpei. I go upstairs, and it was in the last room that I saw that little card pinned there with a push pin. That's Thumbtack Noro Shinpei. It was his calling card. And I opened the door, and it happened pretty much the way I described it in that book. First of all, my amazement was that he seemed like a young man. Not young man exactly. I had no idea. I think he was 35 or 37, I figured it out. But he was so famous that I assumed that he would be an old man. No, this man in his prime, wearing a kimono, which most Japanese did not do, men did not do in those days. After the war, they wore shabby Western style clothes. And he was in this magnificent kimono looking like an old-time ronin. Ronin is a samurai without a job, a long hair, wild hair. And that's where my self-portrait comes from, this wild hair flying all over the place. I'm still imitating him.